Hi everyone, glad to have you back for another stock investment monthly review. Today we're going to be reviewing all three of my investment accounts, plus the Hoperation Fund and some major changes I made to these accounts. So first of all, for the investment account number one, the long-term investing strategy, I had a return of 9.93% in May. In May, I traded SMH and MFC. By the end of the month, I held a hedge position in SPXS with 5% of my capital. Currently, I have about 4% in cash. In this account, 70 to 80% of the capital is invested in companies of high quality to hold for the long term. The remaining 20 to 30% of the capital is used for hedging risks or increasing return by an AI algorithm. The investment goal of this strategy is to have much higher returns with average or much less risk. As you can see from this return comparison, um, the account number one since the beginning of this year has a return of 27.7%, which is massively higher than SPY and QQQ's returns of 11 and 10%. Also, since June 2023, so about 1 year ago, account number one has had a return of 51%, which again is much higher than SPY and QQQ's returns. For my investment account number two, the monthly adjustment strategy, I had a gain of 0.4% in May, and I was holding SGOV with 100% capital. In All of the holdings in this account are determined by an AI algorithm, combining an improved quantitative trading algorithm and a seasonality pattern recognition algorithm. The investment goal of this strategy is to have average returns with much less risk. And you can see from this return comparison, while account number two has had a return of 15.5% since June of last year, it has had a year-to-date return of 3% and has slightly less returns than SPY and QQQ. However, since the returns of this account number two aren't that high, we are going to make some big changes to this account. First, I increased the cash of this account to 2,500, which will serve as a principal capital. Um, Next, I am going to implement a new strategy for investment account number two. Every month, I will select 4 stocks with strong upward potential every month to invest in equally. As you can see, here is a backtest performance of the new strategy over the past 3 years. The total return, if you had bought this, if you had implemented the strategy 3 years ago, or be 1,089%, which is nearly like 10 times the total, 10 times your money. So if you had invested $1 in this strategy, you would have had about $11.89 today. The compound annual return on average for each year is 139.6%. You can see that's more than double your money. And while the standard deviation is slightly higher, 47.4%, and the max drawdown is negative 19.1%, the worst year for the strategy is 47.4% positive. As you can see, this strategy is like nearly unheard of, as you can see its returns and its data is like really good. In fact, the worst year is positive 47%. So we are going to use this strategy for an investment account number 2 from now on. For investment account number 3, the short-term trading strategy, we had a return of 8.15% in May. You can see that here is a screenshot of some transactions in this account. You can see I bought and sold SPXL and then SH. This account is run by a series of AI algorithms for time series classification, and its features are found from stock prices, market sentiment, macroeconomics, company fundamentals, and other alternative data. The investment goal of this account is to have much higher returns with average risks. And you can see from this comparison chart, um, the while the year-to-date is slightly lower than Spike QQ, the returns from November 2023 last year have been 49.2%, almost 50%, and way higher than Spine QQs. Also, the reason for this comparatively lower year-to-date return is because I haven't really found a lot of good opportunities for trading since the beginning of this year. Finally, moving on to the Hoperation Fund. The return in May for the Hoperation Fund investment portfolio was 8.23%. Again, a very high return too. In May, I liquidated the position FTNT as it was beginning to be pretty overvalued. I also sold the position INTU as its growth was slowing down over a long time. And I finally liquidated the position WM. While the stock WM is a very good stock, I liquidated it or sold it to raise capital for hedging. I also initiated the long-term holding POWL as I found it was slightly undervalued and a very good stock, of course. Currently, I hold my hedge position in SPXS with 5% of capital. The year-to-date appropriation fund is 24.5%, which again is more than double the returns of SPY and QQ. Since June 2023, I have also held the since June 2023, I have also had a return of 53.8% in the Hoperation Fund. Again, this is much higher than SPY and QQ's return since last year. So here's a chart of the monthly return of my 3 investment accounts and the Hoperation Fund. You can see um, the yellow column here is the return in May. And you can see from June 2023, so approximately 1 year ago, the returns for account number 1 have been 51%. The returns for account number 2 have been 15.5%. The returns for account number 3 have been 49.2%. And the returns for the Hoperation Fund have been 53.8%. But as you can see, even though account number 3 has been initialized in November 2023. In comparison, SPY and QQ have had returns of 28% and 30.8%, so much lower than some of my accounts. So overall, this concludes the investment review for this month. Thank you all for listening and see you next month.